Liverpool be everybody. We're gonna try this one last time. This shows just how much I love doing this because I've had to make this video or attempt to make this video at least 10 times. That's not even exaggerating. So hopefully this time it goes through. I'm here to talk about the thriller at Anfield, or the thriller on the thriller in Merseyside, as I like to call it, between Liverpool and City. Obviously, you know about it, 3-1 to Liverpool. Gonna get into some final thoughts on that. Gonna also talk briefly about Sterling and Gomez. I say briefly because to me it's not that big a deal that's being made, in my opinion. I'll talk about why, and then I'll end it off with Bernardo Silva, the guy who promises to never eat chocolate again. His words, not mine. So Liverpool versus City. And again, I shouted my guy out about Genie. This guy was playing like a man possessed. And I don't know how they were showing it on TVs where you guys were watching, but every time they zoomed in on his face, he just looked like he was out for blood. And he played that way. One situation that I remember clearly is when we scored the goal for Fabinho. You have Fernandinho, Aguero, and Mr. Milk or cream in my coffee himself, who is Walker, is there, and they're both trying to shove Genie off. Genie isn't having it. And I don't know if players think that Genie is some kind of soft dude. I don't know why they would think that, but he definitely, I think, gained their respect. This little guy was just, it was just everything you wanted in a tough performance. And all the players were like that. I mean, these guys really stepped up and were all counted in this game. I mean, it was incredible. They just made me proud. And more than any game this season, we've had games we had to win it at the death, and Origi and guys stepping up. Genie again. If people look at Genie's totality, his career in his totality here at Liverpool, he's been a big time player. He's been a big game player. He's basically won the game for us against this same team a couple of seasons ago with the header towards the end of the game. Barcelona, of course. Obviously Sheffield United, which is a tough game. I don't care what anybody says about Sheffield United. That was a tough game, getting us out of Dodge with that one. And then obviously this game. There's probably a plethora of other games. Those are the ones that really stand out for me. And we know he can, and this is what had me talking about him as being a world-class midfielder a couple of weeks ago. He isn't always consistent. There's a lot of players that we can say that about on our team, but we know that he has this in him. And it wasn't a surprise. It was more of a reassuring, and it was more of a let's see more of that, but it wasn't a shock, and it's not a performance that I think we won't see again from him. So I'm just proud of Genie, man, just really, really stepping up. Proud of the whole team. As far as City, let's talk about the handball. I think, I'll be honest, and I'm always going to be honest on this channel, you guys know that. I've seen those given. Do I feel sorry for City? Do I feel like they were done wrong? Not one bit. Not one bit. And my thing is, again, to be the best manager in the world, as people say it, that's not my best manager in the world, it's not my GOAT by a long way. But he's the guy who ruined football. That's what he said. If you haven't seen it, watch the Amazon Prime documentary, All or Nothing FC. Go watch it. He said he ruined football. To ruin football, but yet not have your team disciplined enough to play to the whistle, something that we all learn when we're kids. How are you the GOAT? What are you doing? You know what I mean? And I think, again, I feel like he missed the trick in a lot of situations. Fernandinho, I think, has been one of their best players against us in the last few seasons. I'd say him, Bernardo Silva, that's probably about it for me. They've been the most consistent players when they come to Anfield, that is. To waste him in midfield doesn't make sense to me. I get they had injuries and all that, whatever. First of all, you should have bought some more players so that when this situation happened, you'd have been cool. Bought more players in certain positions, but you didn't do that because you're full of yourself and you thought, we'll do it my way and we'll still be good. We'll rack up, get 3 in a row and all that. And they still might, because I'm gonna get to that in a second. This is not over yet. As far as Liverpool have not won the league yet. That people who are saying that, pump your brakes. It's a long season to go. We were saying this last season when they lost to Newcastle. What happened? So I know we were close and all that. Maybe you think I'm being harsh. I'm just being real. So I just think he missed the trick. And I think here's the thing: they almost had it in their first 4 or 5 minutes. They had, I don't know how many set pieces, corners, throw-ins in the first 4 or 5 minutes. They looked like they were up for the game. Not playing to the whistle. Us getting that first goal and the second goal in quick succession really had their heads down. They were gone. And the game was pretty much over then. It was. Definitely over when we got the third goal. But what we saw from Sterling in that game was basically a mirror image of the manager. They'd lost the plot. And they were totally upset, and they were at the point where they were desperate. Every little thing that happened, that's another handball, that's a penalty. No. But this is what Liverpool do to you. They run you to death. There's nothing you can really do. They smother you. and they totally frustrate you, and your whole game plan is gone. In this situation, gone the first 5-10 minutes, gone. Ball it up, throw it away, gone. So, again, Pep that whole week just didn't do himself any favors. Talking about the diving, and how fitting. I said this in the post match with Mane. How fitting to see Mane diving through the air to get that goal. Ugh, just beautiful. So, again, the handball situation, it was never going to be given to. I know a lot of Liverpool supporters like to bring up the Bernardo Silva thing. That was never going to be called. It was accidental. Although I've seen that given as well. I think City drew a game this season because of a handball goal from Rodri, I think, or a handball that led to a goal. So, look, I don't know. At the end of the day, again, I don't feel sorry for them, and you got to just keep playing. Liverpool deserved the win, and it's a shame that that's being glossed over, the great performance that Liverpool put up because of these calls. And you didn't want something like this to happen. You had a feeling that VAR would play a role, or lack of VAR would play a role in this game, and it's a shame because it takes away from the game itself, and a good game, and an incredible performance from Liverpool. But it's cool. I'm not going to let them steal the joy from me, but it's a shame that that's kind of the talking point. But, again, I just think we were the better team. Yes, they had more possession of the ball, but did nothing with it, and that's what I always talk about. You have to take your chances, and luckily for Liverpool, thankfully for Liverpool, happily for Liverpool, that we took the chances that we were given in that first half, and those 2 goals pretty much put the game out of reach. Now, it shouldn't have, because a team like that should have been able to come back, but we've seen City in the past. They're not the best at coming back. Yes, they did against Southampton. Congratulations. But when you go up 1-0, 2-0, Southampton just aren't that good of a team. A better team probably would have kept that lead. But you've seen them go against teams. When they go down 1-2, they're not Liverpool. They don't have that mentality, and that's the thing. They just don't have it. And probably because they haven't really had to deal with it that much. So, more power to them. But we're going to really see what mentality they have. We're going to really see what they're made of as the season goes on, how they're able to, hit back at the lead that we have with them. I think the game after the international break against Chelsea all of a sudden is a huge game. And, people are saying City will be mad, they'll rip Chelsea apart. Okay. I wouldn't want to be playing Chelsea right now. I say that. And the 2 games we played them in the Super Cup and the league, they've been pretty good. Some might say they've been the better team in one of those, if not both of those games. I wouldn't be one of those people, but they're a really good team. And then you got Leicester there as well. So it'll be interesting to see what City can do. But, again, this is why Liverpool they can win in so many different ways. We can gegenpress you to death. We can counter-press you. We can counter-attack you. We can sit back, soak up pressure. We can keep it tight. We have the guys who can win us games at the end of games. We've shown that. We just got a team that they just never die. And I think that's what separates Liverpool and City right now. But again, to me, it's not over yet. And I'm really hesitant to say that. It should be. It should be. But let's be real. We know what this team is capable of, and we know how things can go. And so as much as I back this team to win it and believe we can win it, and believe we will, we should, it's for me, you can't say it's over until it's over. You just can't. So the injuries we have, I'm not worried about that. If there's anything I've learned is that this team, no matter what's thrown at them, they're able to fight through it and persevere and get over those hurdles, if you will. So they aren't injuries that you want, and no team does. We've seen what City has had to go through, but unlike us, they don't have the mentality to really get through it. And honestly, I don't think they have the manager to get through it. And again, that's not a knock on him. I just think this is not something that he's used to going through. He's used to winning leagues without much trouble. And having these injuries for him, you can see that they're just not doing that well right now. So again, we'll see what they're made of, but this should be Liverpool's league. Should have been our league last year, though. And we saw what happened. So that's pretty much my wrap-up on the game. I just think, we just went up another notch when we needed to, and it was a beautiful performance. And I'm just so incredibly proud of this team. Sterling and Gomez. Listen, just as much as every other Liverpool supporter is proud that we're able to get under Sterling's skin, is proud that he's not able to really do what he wants to do, although I think he was the best forward attacking player on that team, probably his best performance at Anfield. But the fact that he still can get a shot on target, still can score against us, makes me incredibly proud, incredibly happy. I love that. We got under their skin. We got under a lot of their players' skin, but Sterling is the one that I think showed the most, and for obvious reasons. The bust up between him and Gomez is their own thing. Emotions get the best of you. Two grown men. Obviously, he probably is still seething about not getting what he wanted to get at Anfield still. Not being able to really get into the groove and really affect the game for his team as he wants to. Did it spill over unnecessarily? Sure. Was it slightly immature from Sterling? Sure. But to have a Liverpool channel and come out here and call Sterling a thug is absolutely disgraceful. Do you know what a thug is? Is it what you're getting from all the hip-hop music that you allegedly listen to, the Jay-Z's, the Drakes, or whatever? Why is he a thug? And why is that always a go-to term to describe black footballers? Did you call Alana a thug when he basically assaulted the kid in that game, when he was demoted to playing with the unders because he wasn't playing for Liverpool, trying to get his fitness back? Did you call him a thug for that? Because that's what that's thuggish, according to you. You know, and I'm saying according to you, I'm mentioning a Liverpool fan channel, and you guys can put the pieces together if you want to. It's not the first time he said something totally disgraceful, totally ignorant, and borderline racist. Yes, I said it, borderline racist. Same thing he did with the Origi thing. And I know people are going to say, how is it racist? And if you don't get it, you don't get it. The point of the matter is that so many times black players are looked at in a certain way that those certain people look at them won't look at white players that way. But black people get these titles of thug and animal, and what are you talking about? How is that a thug? Because he had a bust up with a team. You know how many times this happens across Europe in certain camps, whether it be international clubs, whether it be international teams, club teams? There's always bust ups. These things happen. It's part of the game. These are grown men. Testosterone, emotion, it happens. It's not anything they can't work out for themselves, though. So again, calling him a thug is just, it's a disgrace. And coming from this guy, there's nothing new. It's not a surprise. It just is what it is. And you know, I really wish people would stop alerting me to this guy's channel, because I have no want to look at it. But when they show me things like this, it's just more receipts as to why this guy's a disgrace. And people who watch this channel, keep watching this channel. If you support what he says, if you like what he does, fine, great, wonderful. More power to him, more power to you. But when things like this happen, I have to speak on them. You know, you got to really look at these certain people and how problematic they are. And we saw what happened when he came to America. Got his ass handed to him. The guy's just not a decent dude. He's not. And to come out and call Sterling a thug, it's just a disgrace to me. It's ridiculous. You know, I have similar feelings about Sterling, not really as everyone else as far as Liverpool supporters. The way he left the team is the way he left the team. You know, there's a better situation for him, family, monetarily, yes. And at the time, he's pretty much guaranteed to win more. Can you really knock him for that? Everybody's not going to be, you know, Steven Gerrard and stay at Liverpool for their whole career. You know what I mean? So some of the things the guy was saying about Sterling were just disgusting, and I'm going to move past it because I don't want to keep bringing light to him and his channel. But I'm going to end it with the Bernardo Silva thing. And listen, to me, I think he got off easy, and he should be thankful for that. The thing I don't get is, you know, you listen to some of these city channels, and this particular clown from, I think it's Man City TV, Ray, I think his name is, guy who wears shades all the time because he has a raccoon situation looking thing around his eyes. You know, non-black people kill me when they say, this wasn't as bad as the Hennessy thing. All racism is bad. There's no one example of racial abuse or racism that's better than the next. And they also kill me when they say things like, and this is mostly white people, this is the truth. I'm sure there's black people say it too, but this is where you get the white people saying stuff like, well, Mindy has no problem with it, so it's cool. Okay, so if Bernardo came out and said, as a joke between friends, you monkey, nigger, black cunt, and Mindy says, oh, we're cool with it, we're just friends, does that make it okay? You know, Mindy is part of the issue as well, because even if it was between friends, and now let me just say, because I don't know if Mindy came out, I don't know if Mindy has ever has come out and given his opinion about it, so, you know, I apologize if he has. But the fact that he's more or less kind of behind it because it's his buddy, their friends, or he is kind of taken up for Bernardo. And I think I think Sterling said something similar too, which was disappointing to hear from Sterling. But it's guys like Mindy and John Barnes who pretty much continue to put targets on black players' backs. Because in their mind, they're like, well, look at John Barnes. He doesn't think this is racism. Look at Mindy. He's okay with it. That's irrelevant. And non-black people need to understand that doesn't make these things okay. Because one token black person who you bring out every time, John Barnes, who's a disgrace to me, who's dead to me. I actually have a t-shirt that I need to throw away or burn at some point with his name on it and his face on the front of it. I don't want anything to do with John Barnes. He's dead to me. But it's guys like that they prop up when these situations come. Anytime there's a racist issue, pay attention. They always bring John Barnes in. And lately, more times than not, he's basically the guy they can pull up to say, oh, no, it's not that big a deal. Racism was far worse when I was coming up. Really? That's what you're saying. And you want young black men and black women to respect you. You know, so again, Mindy from the beginning has always been part of the problem. And again, it just doesn't matter if Mindy's okay with it. It's the same thing with the Salah songs in the past about, sitting in the mosque is where I want to be and all that. It doesn't matter. It's the same ignorance with Si Senor, in my opinion, ignorance when it comes to Firmino, who speaks Portuguese. Portuguese is his original language, so we couldn't find a way to say that in Portuguese, but okay. It doesn't matter what these people say. They're going to say certain things, especially teammates, because they don't want to upset the dressing room. Imagine Mindy coming, and again, if I'm Mindy, I'm still saying what I think is true, and that is, I think what he did was too far, and it is racist. It's as simple as that. It's racist. I don't care if you want to call him a racist or not, that's up to you. My thing is, it was a racist act. And he should be mature enough, of the world enough, as Pep likes to say, he speaks languages, and that you should know that should have never left the WhatsApp group. That should have never leaked into social media. I shouldn't say leaked because he put it out in social media. It's not like somebody else put it out. Should have never made the social media. So next time, keep that in-house. But I think he got off light. And again, I'm not down with the whole kick it out. And there are a bunch of jokes anyway. Say no to racism, joke. Because it'll never be kicked out. It'll always be around. And mainly because there's not enough discipline when these things happen. That's light. He got away lightweight. If you're going to make an example of someone, if you're going to set a precedent, set the damn precedent. Not these slaps on the wrist. And this is why these things will continue to happen. All these brothers. Something happened with Shakhtar Donetsk. I think the player Tyson. They flicked off the fans and kicked the ball in the stadium. And you got people saying, oh, what if he hit a kid? Or what if he hit... Really? That's the least of what he could have did. Kick the ball in basically an empty part of the stadium anyway. But that's what you're whining about? The ref, he was following protocol. He did what he had to do. Bro, some things are bigger than what you have to do. Some things are bigger than football. And when people are getting racially abused at games, something needs to happen. And that's just not happening. So... that's my feeling on Bernardo Silva. He's a lucky man in my opinion. 50,000 is nothing, really. It's for a football player, that's really nothing. So again, it's a slap on the wrist, 1 game ban. It is what it is. So it's just laughable to hear some of the City fans and other neutrals talking about this as if, that wasn't a big deal. People can't take jokes these days. You people are missing the whole situation. And it's no surprise. It's going over your heads. People who think that way, oh, just a joke. People are so PC. You wouldn't be able to. Somebody said in the comment section, you wouldn't be able to survive in the 70s, 80s. Bruh, some things are just too big for certain people. It's a shame, but 2020, 2019, damn near 2020, people just don't get the issues in society. So that's me for today. It's cold here, which I like, but I need gloves, which my wife so pleasantly and so sweetly got for me yesterday. So I'll be good. I don't have them on now, but I love the cold. It was just my hands that were bothered. But yeah, in closing, this is not a film channel, but please, if you're into films, real film buffs, I'm talking to you. Not the ones who like people flying through the sky, the CGI and all that. Real film buffs. Please go check out the film Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe, directed by Robert Eggers, also featuring Robert Pattinson. And check out the film Parasite by Bong Joon-ho. I can't think of his name, but Korean director. Parasite and The Lighthouse. That's me for now, guys. See you soon.